नमस्कार। कार्यक्रम चर्चा परिचर्चामा यो प्रस्तुतिमा हामी समय सान्दर्भिक विषयवस्तु उठान गर्ने गर्दछौँ र अतिथिसँग प्रत्यक्ष संवादमा जुट्ने गर्दछौँ। आदरणीय दर्शक महानुभाव जो टिभी बिरगन्ज हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ र श्रोता महानुभाव जो रेडियो बिरगन्ज सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ, हामीलाई विभिन्न क्षेत्रबाट प्राप्त भइरहेका प्रतिक्रियाले उत्साह थपेको छ। खास गरी गर्मी याममा सर्वसाधारणलाई परेको समस्याका बारेमा हामीले उठान गरेका छौँ। यसैगरी जुन विद्युतको आपूर्ति नियमित रूपमा अवरुद्ध भइरहँदाखेरि नागरिकलाई पर्न गएको कठिनाइका बारेमा हामीले उठान गरेका छौँ, लगायत ओझेलमा परेका विषयवस्तुलाई समेत हामीले उठान गर्दै आएका छौँ। अर्कोतर्फ खास गरी युवाहरू भनेका परिवर्तनका संवाहक हुन्। उनीहरू भनेका समाज र मुलुक निर्माणकर्ताका रूपमा लिने गरिन्छ। युवाहरूको दक्षता, युवाहरूको शैक्षिक योग्यता, युवाहरूको ऊर्जा, उत्साह, युवाहरूको उमङ्ग, युवाहरूको सिपलाई समाज र राष्ट्रको हितका लागि उपयोग गर्न सकियो भने निश्चय पनि समाज र राष्ट्रको स्तरोन्नति हुनेछ। तर हाम्रो जस्तो विकासोन्मुख मुलुकमा भने यतिखेर युवा पलायन सर्वाधिक चासोको रूपमा देखिएको छ। यो एक चिन्ताका रूपमा हेरिएको छ। आखिर युवाहरू विदेशतर्फ पलायन हुनुको मूल कारण के त? यो मुलुकभित्र युवाहरूले सम्भावना नै देखेनन् त? यस्ता यावत जिज्ञासा उठ्ने गर्दछन्। यद्यपि युवाहरूलाई अवसर दियो, उनीहरूलाई उचित वातावरण दिइयो भने पक्कै पनि उनीहरूले आफ्नो सामर्थ्य यही माटोमा प्रदर्शन गर्न सक्दछन्, चरितार्थ गर्न सक्दछन्। तर राज्यको मूलभूत दायित्व हो त्यो प्रकारको वातावरण युवाहरूको लागि तयार गरिदिनु। यही मुलुकभित्र आकर्षित गर्न सक्नु राज्यको प्रमुख दायित्व हो। त्यो दायित्व राज्यले निर्वाह गर्नै पर्ने हुन्छ। यही सवालमा हामी केन्द्रित रहनेछौँ आजको श्रृङ्खलामा र अतिथिका रूपमा हामीसँग युवा व्यक्तित्व हुनुहुन्छ। नेशनल मेडिकल कलेज बिरगन्जका म्यानेजिङ डाइरेक्टर संवाज अन्सारी अतिथिका रूपमा हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँलाई नेपाली बोल्नाले असहज हुने गरेका कारण हामी यो श्रृङ्खलामा अङ्ग्रेजी भाषामा संवाद गर्नेछौँ र यो संवाद मार्फत चाहिँ विभिन्न शिक्षण संस्थामा अध्ययनरत विद्यार्थीहरूले पनि यही मुलुकभित्र सम्भावनाको पहिचान गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, सम्भावनाको खोजी गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ र आफ्नै परिवारका सदस्यसँग यही मुलुकभित्र जीवनयापन खुसी तरिकाले गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ भन्ने एक प्रकारको आत्मबोध सिर्जना गर्नु नै यो कुराकानीको मूल अभिप्राय रहेको हामी यहाँहरूलाई जानकारी गराउन चाहन्छौँ। अब भने लाग्दैछौँ हामी संवादतर्फ। Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ujolji. Thank you for having me here today.
How are you?
All good. How are you today?
Okay, I'm very fine. Now, we are centralized on the position of youth inside our country actually. The condition of youth in our country. What do you think about the condition of youth in our country, just like developing country of Nepal?
The youth in our country, of course, I believe them to be very resilient and brilliant, but there are certain realities we have to face with what is happening in the country today. There is a huge brain drain that is happening, and there is huge manpower drain that is happening, and most of them involved in this brain drain and manpower drain is the youth of the country. So a lot of people are going abroad because we as Nepal are a country who has just come up from a democracy. We are a very young democracy. What I believe is that we are somewhat at a disadvantage in the place we are in the world, in the global context. What has happened is that the world has opened up, transportation has become easier. Within 24 hours you can reach one end to the other end of the world, and as well as communication has become instantaneous. Due to these things, the world has opened up and Nepal is a village in a global context. it is a village in a global context. So what is happening is that people are going from the village to the cities. Interconnectivity has increased so much, so youths are being pulled by other countries massively in context of Nepal. This is the reality we are facing here today.
Actually, the main thing is that the skills of youth, qualification of youth, ability of youth, enthusiasm of youth should be utilized for the upgradation of the society and the country even, but that is not being done.
Yes. There are multitude factors regarding this, from the policy makers to nepotism in Nepal, to not having a meritocracy system where the better person gets the position, rather it's about who knows who. So all of these problems has created a huge bubble for the youth of the country to go to other countries. This is what is happening at the moment. But Nepal is a problematic country, but it is a problem we as youth should be ready to face. It is a problematic country, but in the problem lies the opportunities. That is what I believe. That is what I have always believed, that there is a problem, but in that problem lies the opportunity. How you grasp it is up to you. So a lot of people are taking the easy part out. The world has opened up, so they want to go to countries which already have the policies in place. But what they are actually doing is they are going from this community to a community where become a small part of a big wheel.
Actually, a higher percentage of youths, they say that there is not so much potentiality within our country. In the changing scenario, we do not find such kind of opportunities and we are compelled to migrate abroad. They are saying is that. Do you think that's true?
Up to a certain degree, what you define as opportunity is for you to define. What is opportunity? There are ample opportunity in Nepal as well, but of course, if you want the easy way out, if you want to become a small part of a big machine, then you go abroad. But in Nepal, you can be the wheel itself. You redefine the wheel. Nepal is a small community where even your input will make a huge impact. But you can be the most brilliant person, you can go abroad, you can go to a European country, you will just be one person amongst the many. But in Nepal, you will outshine everybody if you know how to grasp your opportunities. That is what I believe. Impactful things. What do you want to do in life? Do you just want to earn money, or do you want to do something impactful with your life? If you want to do something impactful, I believe Nepal has the problems which will provide us the opportunities to do it.
You mean that youth should try to be the king within the country rather to be the servant in abroad?
In a much better way, yes, it is better to be in your country, and the sense of patriotism which you have towards the country comes from being in your country. The pride which you have by being in Nepal, by being in your own country and working here, and by going abroad, you are not just going abroad to earn money. You are actually, in a way, it becomes very disruptive to your family. It breaks our bonds, which we as Nepal value very highly. We are a community people. We are a communal people. We value our bonds. So I believe we should always look for opportunities in Nepal. Yes, I do understand there are problems. I'm not averse to them. There are huge challenges to even simply opening a small business as well, from the opening to the bureaucratic red tapes to running a business is very challenging. But once you get those done and you know how to do them, that builds your character. That makes you a person who you want to be, how you are as a person. So I believe that Nepal has the opportunities if you look in the right places. not all sectors are opportunity averse. Why is the IT sector in Nepal booming so much? Nepal saw the opportunity. It saw that it has the manpower, it has the infrastructure. So the people stayed here and they started exporting their services abroad. They started doing IT related things in Nepal. The online business is booming a lot, from food order business to goods business. The online platform has a lot to offer. I think IT is a very good sector where you can go. For example, when you take in the healthcare sector, what happens is that when you go abroad, you become a small part of a big hospital. But over here, one doctor changes the entire community. That is impactful. That is very meaningful. So if you ever want to pursue that, I believe Nepal is the place to stay. Nepal is the place to pursue things. And of course, this problematic stage we are in is something that we as a country need to undergo. We do not need to be frustrated with the way things are, with the way things are abroad. That is comparison. We don't do that comparison. What we see is, we look at our history. In our history, where were we 20 years back? 20 years back, we were not certain whether Nepal will survive or not. What will happen in Nepal? Nepal as a country will survive or not? We came out of it. We came out of that phase where people's lives were endangered every day. People did not know what will happen. We came from that phase to a phase where now we are talking about health, now we are talking about educations, which we should always do, which we should always move forward. But we look at the past and we look at where we are going forward and whether we are progressing or not.
Actually, what are the sectors that the youths of Nepal can look forward?
I think one of the brilliant sectors in Nepal to look forward to is always been the IT sector. While you see that Nepal is a land of problem, it is a land of missed opportunities. So, for example, I'll give you an example. Why internet connectivity in Nepal is so good in comparison to countries like India. So, before there was optical fibers, there was copper cables. So, what other countries did was they invested heavily in copper cables. But Nepal came to the internet scenario a bit later stage. So when internet became widespread in Nepal was because of the optical cable. We skipped a generation. We did not go to the copper cable. We rather skipped directly to the optical fiber route. So by skipping one generation, what happened was internet connectivity increased massively and the prices went down massively. What the other countries had to do was, they had already invested heavily into copper cables. So what happened was, they needed to upgrade. So what we did was, we skipped a generation. The same thing applies in Nepal. Lots of things are happening all over the world. You just need to grasp that and bring it to Nepal.
You mentioned about the IT sector. Besides the IT sector, more?
I believe one of the most ignored sector is the agriculture sector, as in techno agriculture. What we do is, you do smart agriculture. Land are becoming precious and you employ smart agricultural techniques and innovative agricultural techniques which yield more per inch of land. So by employing those, I think a lot of people, I just met a few entrepreneurs the other day. They had gone abroad, they had worked over there, and they brought the same concept back to Nepal. And they're doing really good. You need to study the market. You need to analyze where the money is, where the products will move, and that is how you go into agriculture.
Mm-hmm. What we see, the scenario around at present is that higher percentage of youth They want the luxurious things quick, means good motorbike quick, good comfortable house quick, gadgets quick. So, they need all these kind of luxurious items in a quick format. What is the suggestion regarding this?
There is a concept which I have always believed in, which is called delayed gratification. Instant gratification, delayed gratification. With instant gratification is what most of us pursue in everyday life. We scroll social media for the dopamine hit. We want the bikes, we want the cars, we want the luxury things in life. But what after that? And what I believe is delayed gratification, what it does is it builds upon generations. We are not here just for ourselves. We are here to build for the people who come after us as well. That is our duty. So rather than having a bike in 2 years, why not build Nepal and have it in 5 years, in 7 years, so that the tomorrow generation will have a better tomorrow than we have today. That is what you did for us. That is what my father did for us. That is what the past people of Nepal did for us. The opportunities which we have today is a certain percentage is attributed to them. So that is what we need to build on. A strong community, a strong policy in Nepal, a strong country which will be able to face up in the global market and challenges as well. It will be slow, but I believe that is a goal, that is a dream worth pursuing.
What are the key factors for the youth to achieve their goal?
I believe one is the core to anybody's dreams to achieve success is the education. A good exposure to education will make or break a person. And education is not just about what you learn in the books. It's about what you do at home. It's about how you interact with your friends, how you are in society. The accumulation of your life which you have up to now is the education you have gotten through books or other means. That is what makes or breaks a person. And I think we as a society, we need to encourage people to ask more questions, to be more explorative, have a dream. Even if you don't have a dream, you don't have to think something big. You need to challenge only one person ever in your life, which is yourself. Are you better than you were yesterday? That's all the goal you need to have in life. Am I better than I was 2 days back? Am I better than I was 5 years back? Am I doing better than I was 10 years back? That's all the goal you need to have in life. And slowly and steadily, each and every one of us building together, when it comes collectively, then we build a nation.
That means they need to compare and analyze themselves.
Yes. You always need to challenge yourself. Always. I believe that the only ever comparative you need to do is to the person you were yesterday. If you are moving forward, if you are better than you were yesterday, you have already gained a certain level of success in your life. And motivation is like a sprint, you can say. Motivation is something you get while you're walking. You run for a certain time, then you tire. But you should never stop walking. Consistency is what gets you where you are. You don't.
That means we should not skip away from hurdles.
Yes. You should never skip away from hurdles.
Hurdles are a part of life.
They are a part of life. Be consistent with what you do. And one day you'll wake up and you'll see that, yes, I became an expert in this.
That means set one goal.
Yes.
And try continuously to achieve the target.
To achieve the target. And you,
whatever the hurdles may be.
Yes, whatever the hurdles may be. And you don't have to achieve it in one day, in 1 year time. You can take micro steps towards it. Take it one step at a time. That is how you reach your goal.
Smart work is better than hard work.
Yes. Smart work is better than hard work. That is debatable. One of the downsides of smart work is that people, it is better than hard work, but the smart people tend to get kind of arrogant, and the hard workers, they consistently put in hard work, so they kind of become better than the smart workers eventually. That is my perception on things. So be consistent with what you do. That is what I say. Whether you work smartly or whether you work
That
hard.
means continuous effort and dedication should be there.
Yes, unfortunately, this is the reality of life, is that if you work hard, you will get success. No, that is not how life works. But every person who has achieved success has worked hard. That is what I believe. So work hard. Whether you get success or not, unfortunately, life is not that simple.
Set target, set a goal, and
Consist-
effort, interest and continuous dedication should be there. Okay. Now, on the other side, if we talk about our country Nepal, and there are a lot of potentialities we see in terms of water resources. Is the second richest country after Brazil. Lot of beautiful destinations. 8 of the world's highest peaks are located in Nepal only. Tourism, hydro, medicinal herbs, minerals, lot of sectors are there. It's definitely called the gift of nature, land of paradise. Being sure also, why couldn't our country progress in a proper ratio?
I think one of the biggest hurdle to progress has always been comparison to developed countries. What exactly is progress? Where do you want to be? Do you want do you want your country to become an overnight accomplishment? No, that's not how it works. We work through the problems. Yes, there is rampant corruption. Yes, there is irregular policies. There is a huge mountain of problems in Nepal. There is no denying that at all. But we sort through them and we move forward. So what we do is
What do you think is that political instability, corruption, the whatever the plans and policies are made, implementation part almost zero. These are means lagging our country behind.
Yes, true, very true. But what the policymakers need to understand is that Nepal is a country of youths. There is a bulging youth community here.
But at present context, if we go around to the countryside, or the different hilly regions of the countryside, we find no youths over there.
Yes, because almost everybody has gone abroad. Unfortunately, the
scenario is such, if a person dies in a community, there are no youths to carry them also.
That is an unfortunate scenario of Nepal which has been presented in the current context. So policymakers as well as the government need to understand that this is a huge problem where there is a huge exodus of youths leaving the country.
Most of the citizens, Nepalese citizens, they say that the leaders of the political party or whoever are in the driving seat of the country, they are concerned towards their own benefits only. They are not concerned towards the problem of the citizens and to address them.
Well, in some way where there is a lot of political instability in Nepal, like it is where the Prime Minister's seat is being changed every 1.5 years, 1 year. So the political party, when they are faced with the problem of staying in power rather than serving the community, this is the scenario which has developed in Nepal. And people are concerned, and it is good to be concerned. This is how we build on it. This is how we address it. This is how we take action for it. This is how we choose our next leaders. what do we want as a nation? This is how we do it. When you look at the history of any country, post-democracy, what did they do? Other than a handful of countries, most of them went through the process we are going through. This is in process.
But
we are in the process of
but the
building the
experts
nation.
say that lot of time is being wasted.
That is true.
Experts say that due to the Maoist agitation, similarly the Madhesi party's agitation and the demonstration, COVID pandemic, different kind of disaster such as the heavy earthquake that occurred in 2072 BS and the political instability. Due to the major 6 or 7 reasons, Nepal is lagging behind, most of the experts say.
I think what we can say is that, like I have said it before, this is something we as a nation need to address. We as citizens of the nations need to address. How we choose our leaders, where do we want the country to go. But without a voice, this nation will go in even more. Let's say there is a positive and negative. It will go towards negative even more. We as the youth, we are the diamonds in the rough, you can say. Whether you polish us or whether you throw us aside, it will be a huge, huge capital expenditure.
About other thing, if we look at the other side, they even say that the conference, big kind of conference, heavy discussions are conducted or arranged in big hotels, 5-star hotels or different kind of attractive venues. Plans are made, discussions are done, but when it comes to the implementation part, which is the most important part, that is almost zero.
Well, you are absolutely right in that. There is no context because Nepal has been a country which has lacked implementation a lot. Like I said, we have a huge mountain
That
of
means
problems.
implementation part should be very strong.
True.
It
Implementation
should
part,
be result oriented.
it should be result oriented. Nepal,
Because whatever we are doing, that should be result oriented.
absolutely.
Otherwise, it's a waste of money and time.
It is a waste of money and time.
But it has become a practice, and the political system of our country is also such that in almost every political parties there are the youth leaders also who wants to just go ahead, but even they say that our top leaders do not allow us to go straight away.
I think youths should rise up to the challenge, this challenge, because what I have seen faced is that sometimes youths are the bridge builders in a lot of communities. What happens is that certain times the older people think that some problem is unsolvable, but when you bring a new perspective, fresh perspective, and when you bring a resilience to it, what happens? Sometimes the problem gets resolved.
Actually, government and the stakeholders, they should put up their best effort to attract youth within the country only. That is the main aspect.
Yes, one of the main aspect is that what the government should do is it should make a conducive environment where
Youth can be
investment-
attracted within the country,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
and they can bring the transformation for the society and the nation even. Now, we are towards the end of this wonderful interaction. If we take an example of Singapore, if we look at the history back almost 35 or 36 years, Singapore was even in a worse condition than Nepal, but one visionary leader who had a true leadership quality, dedication, vision, the scenario is changed, and now at present context Singapore is listed in a world country.
True. That is absolutely true. What we do lack is like you said, is a visionary leader like that. Of course, Nepal has its advantages. It has its resources. We were never able to leverage it. But that will not always be the case. That will not always be the scenario. We will leverage it. We, as the Nepalese youth and the people who are coming up today, we should take up the challenge, as well as the stakeholders who are in place. They should know what and where the country is headed. They need to make a conducive environment, investment environment, and they should
conclusion, they should not think upon themselves
Yes.
only. They should think about the welfare of the citizen and the country.
Countries, absolutely.
That is the main
Major
aspect that they should be looking for.
Absolutely.
You granted us a valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ujjwalji, for this interaction. It was really nice being here.
थ्याङ्क यू आदरणीय दर्शक महानुभाव र श्रोता महानुभाव, प्रस्तुतिबाट बिदा माग्ने समय भएको छ। प्रस्तुतिमा हामीले कुराकानी गरेका छौँ नेसनल मेडिकल कलेजका म्यानेजिङ डाइरेक्टर जो युवा व्यक्तित्व हुनुहुन्छ सहनावाज अन्सारीसँग। टिभी र रेडियो बिरगन्जका सम्पूर्ण क्रिउ मेम्बरलाई धन्यवाद दिँदै कार्यक्रम सञ्चालक म उज्जवल पनि यहाँहरू माझबाट बिदा हुन चाहन्छु। हवस् त, नमस्कार।